Here are 3 problems from our lesson set. The first one, we're being asked to simplify plus or minus the square root of negative 49. Right away, I see a negative inside the radical or square root sign. That means that automatically there's going to be an imaginary number that's coming out of this. So usually that's the easiest thing I like to do is first let's take care of that imaginary number. So this is equal to 49, and that negative comes out as an I. Now we want to attack the square root of 49 and simplify the radical here. This is a square root. It's like there's an invisible 2 in that little crux right there. There's a couple different ways to do it. I'm going to do it in a more broken down algebra style. So plus or minus square root 49 is really 7 times 7 I. Now for square root, that means you can pull out pairs of numbers. I have a pair of 7s here, so that can come out as 1 7. So this is equal to plus or minus 7i. Now, if you are okay jumping steps, this one's not too bad once you make those connections. You see a negative inside the square root sign. 49 is a perfect square, so it's okay if you just say plus or minus square root of 49 is 7, and the negative comes out as an I. And same answer. Next, we're asked to label all the parts here. Well, the whole thing is a complex number. Because we have the I involved, the first part with no I, that's the real part. It's a real number. And the second part, since it has the I, is a imaginary. It's an imaginary number, or imaginary part. Those two parts make a plane that we can use. This is like the X part, this is like the Y part. First and second. Usually it's always in this kind of order where the real number comes first. So I'm going to go ahead and just use this same number to graph. So this is the complex field. We have the real part here. We have the imaginary part here. Once again, these are the positive real parts. These are the negative real parts. Positive imaginary, negative imaginary. I'm going to go ahead and graph this. Now this is a little bit larger than this one. We got a decimal going on. So the scale's not going to be the same, but 10, 20, 30, 40. I'm going to go ahead and go by tens on the imaginary. And on the real part, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on that part. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's add 7 right there. So I'm going to go ahead and combine those to make one number on the imaginary field. Usually we start with the real part. So my real part is 6.2. That's about right there, a little bit after 6. The imaginary part is 37, so just below 40. I'll say it's about right there. And we kind of meet in the spot where they go together. And then let's go ahead and add, this is Z is equal to 6.2 plus 37i is what that point is.